In 2001, an antique store owner named Kevin Mannis bought an old wine cabinet at an estate sale in Portland, Oregon. The cabinet had a strange, eerie quality about it, but Mannis was intrigued. After taking it back to his shop, he opened the cabinet and found some curious items inside. Two 1920s pennies, a lock of blonde hair bound with string, a lock of black hair bound with string, a small statue engraved with the Hebrew word Shalom, a golden wine goblet, a dried rosebud, and a single candle holder with octopus-shaped legs. Mannis decided to give the cabinet to his mother as a gift. On the same day she received it, she suffered a severe stroke, losing her ability to speak and move. She managed to spell out "NOGIFT" on a piece of paper, indicating the cabinet. Mannis soon began to experience a series of disturbing and unexplainable events. He had terrible nightmares about a demonic hag attacking him. Objects would mysteriously break around his house. The shop where he kept the cabinet was also plagued with strange occurrences, such as the smell of cat urine and the lights flickering on and off. Desperate to rid himself of the cabinet, Mannis sold it on eBay, detailing the strange events and claiming it was haunted by a Dybbuk, a restless, malicious spirit from Jewish folklore. The new owner, a student named Nitska, experienced similar horrifying incidents. Strange smells, shadows, and feelings of dread. He, too, tried to get rid of it by selling it. Eventually, the cabinet ended up with Jason Haxton, a museum director. Haxton experienced health issues, such as hives, coughing up blood, and welts. His office light would often explode without reason. He decided to consult with rabbis and eventually sealed the cabinet inside a gold-lined wooden ark, burying it in a secret location to contain the evil spirit. To this day, the Dybbuk Box remains a chilling reminder of the supernatural. Many believe it to be one of the most haunted objects in the world, its sinister presence still causing fear and fascination. Years passed, and the story of the Dybbuk Box became a popular legend, drawing the curiosity of paranormal enthusiasts and skeptics alike. Despite being buried in a secret location, whispers of its whereabouts began to circulate on obscure internet forums and among fringe occult groups. One such group, obsessed with uncovering and harnessing supernatural powers, managed to piece together clues about the box's location. Led by a man named Vincent, a former archaeologist turned occultist, they embarked on a perilous journey to retrieve the box. Their search led them deep into the remote woods of Missouri, where Haxton had hidden it. After days of relentless searching, they found the gold-lined ark hidden in an abandoned well. Excited but apprehensive, they carefully extracted the box. Vincent, believing he could control the Dybbuk, performed a ritual to summon the spirit, hoping to bend it to his will. As Vincent chanted ancient incantations, the atmosphere around them grew heavy, and the temperature plummeted. A dark, shadowy mist began to seep from the box, coiling around the group like a serpent. The air filled with an unbearable stench, and the forest seemed to come alive with eerie whispers and rustling leaves. Suddenly, the mist coalesced into a form, a gaunt, twisted figure with hollow eyes and a mouth that seemed to stretch impossibly wide. The Dybbuk had been awakened, and it was furious. Vincent's confidence quickly turned to terror as the spirit attacked, possessing one of his followers. The possessed man's eyes rolled back, and he began to speak in a guttural, inhuman voice, recounting the horrors it had witnessed over centuries. The group was thrown into chaos. Vincent, realizing the dire mistake he had made, desperately tried to reverse the ritual, but it was too late. The Dybbuk was free and more powerful than ever. It tormented them, manipulating their fears and causing hallucinations. Each member of the group saw their worst nightmares come to life, grotesque apparitions, loved ones in distress, and endless, inescapable darkness. In a final, desperate attempt, Vincent remembered a fragment of ancient Hebrew text he had studied years ago. With trembling hands, he inscribed a protective circle around himself and began to chant. The Dybbuk, enraged, launched itself at him, but was repelled by the circle's power. Vincent knew the only way to contain the Dybbuk was to trap it back in the box. Using every ounce of his will, he drew the spirit toward the cabinet, chanting louder and faster. The spirit fought back, but Vincent's determination and the ancient incantation began to take effect. Slowly, the Dybbuk was drawn back into the box, its screams echoing through the forest. Exhausted and shaken, Vincent and the few survivors resealed the box and buried it once more, this time taking even greater precautions to ensure it would never be found again. They swore an oath of secrecy, vowing never to speak of the incident. Years later, Vincent, now a recluse, wrote a cryptic journal detailing his experiences. He warned of the box's power and the devastating consequences of tampering with the supernatural. The journal was hidden away, but rumors persisted, attracting new seekers of the paranormal. Despite their efforts, the Dybbuk Box's dark secret continued to lure the curious and the reckless, ensuring its story was far from over. The box remained a beacon for those drawn to the unknown, and the malevolent spirit within awaited its next chance to wreak havoc on the world. Years later, the story of the Dybbuk Box resurfaced in a way no one could have anticipated. A tech-savvy thrill-seeker named Alex stumbled upon Vincent's journal during an estate sale in a small town in Missouri. Intrigued by the detailed accounts of paranormal phenomena, Alex became obsessed with finding the infamous box. Using the clues from the journal, Alex traced the possible location of the box to an overgrown, forgotten section of the forest. Equipped with advanced technology, including drones and thermal imaging, Alex and his team scoured the area, finally uncovering the ancient, gold-lined ark buried deep within a collapsed cave. Despite the warnings in Vincent's journal, Alex believed he could control and document the spirit using modern technology. They carefully extracted the box and brought it to a high-tech lab, outfitted with all the latest gadgets for paranormal investigation. The night they opened the box, the atmosphere in the lab shifted dramatically. Screens flickered, lights dimmed, and an icy chill filled the air. The team watched in awe and terror as the Dybbuk manifested, captured in high definition by their cameras. But this time, the spirit seemed more cunning, more aware of its surroundings. Alex and his team began experiencing terrifying phenomena almost immediately. Electronic equipment malfunctioned. Recording devices picked up eerie, disembodied whispers, and shadowy figures appeared on screen. The team members were haunted by vivid nightmares and unexplained injuries. Desperate to understand and control the spirit, Alex turned to the dark web, seeking out occult experts and forbidden knowledge. He contacted an enigmatic figure known only as the Seer, who agreed to help in exchange for an unspecified favor. Following the Seer's cryptic instructions, Alex and his team performed a series of complex rituals, hoping to bind the Dybbuk to a physical object they could study. As the rituals progressed, the atmosphere grew increasingly oppressive. Shadows twisted unnaturally, and an unseen force seemed to press down on them. In a final, desperate ritual, they attempted to trap the Dybbuk in a specially prepared containment unit. The air crackled with energy as Alex recited the incantations. The Dybbuk's form writhed and contorted, resisting the binding with every ounce of its malevolent power. Just as it seemed they might succeed, a blinding flash of light filled the room. When the light faded, Alex and his team found themselves standing in a different place, an eerie, desolate landscape that seemed to stretch endlessly in all directions. They had crossed into the spirit realm, a place where the Dybbuk held absolute power. In this nightmarish world, their technology was useless. The Dybbuk toyed with them, warping reality to play on their deepest fears. Each member of the team faced twisted versions of their past, forced to confront their darkest secrets. Alex realized that the only way to escape was to outsmart the Dybbuk. He recalled Vincent's journal, particularly a passage about the spirit's origins. The Dybbuk had been a powerful sorcerer in life, trapped between worlds due to a failed ritual. Using this knowledge, Alex devised a plan. He challenged the Dybbuk, offering to complete the ritual that had trapped it in exchange for their freedom. Intrigued, the Dybbuk agreed, seeing a chance to finally escape its torment. Alex's team worked together, gathering the necessary elements from the spirit realm's twisted landscape. The final ritual was a harrowing experience, as the Dybbuk fought to seize control. But with sheer determination and the strength of their combined will, they managed to complete the ritual. The Dybbuk was pulled from the spirit realm, forced into the containment unit they had prepared. The team found themselves back in the lab, shaken but alive. The box, now sealed with the Dybbuk inside, pulsed with a dark, foreboding energy. Realizing the danger it still posed, Alex and his team decided to hide the box in an undisclosed location, swearing to protect its secret. They documented their experiences in detail, creating a hidden archive to warn future generations. But the story of the Dybbuk Box was far from over. As long as the box existed, its dark presence would continue to attract those drawn to the mysteries of the unknown, ensuring the Dybbuk's legacy of terror lived on. Years passed, and the Dybbuk Box remained hidden, its dark history forgotten by most. However, whispers of its existence persisted among occult circles and paranormal enthusiasts. One such group, known as the Shadow Seekers, made it their mission to uncover and confront supernatural artifacts. The Shadow Seekers were led by Dr. Elena Marlowe, a renowned historian and occult expert. She had spent her career studying ancient relics and arcane lore, driven by a personal tragedy linked to the supernatural. Her brother had vanished under mysterious circumstances, and she believed the Dybbuk Box held the key to understanding what happened to him. Using the hidden archive created by Alex and his team, Dr. Marlowe pieced together the clues leading to the box's location. With a group of trusted colleagues, including her tech-savvy assistant Jake, psychic medium Ava, and seasoned investigator Marcus, they set out on a perilous journey to find the box. Their search led them to a remote monastery in Eastern Europe, where rumors of a cursed relic had terrified the local villagers for generations. The monastery's monks, aware of the box's dark power, had concealed it deep within the catacombs, hoping to keep it hidden forever. Despite the monks' warnings, Dr. Marlowe and her team ventured into the labyrinthine catacombs. The air grew colder as they descended, and a palpable sense of dread settled over them. As they navigated the twisting passages, Ava's psychic abilities picked up faint whispers and fleeting shadows, guiding them closer to their goal. At the heart of the catacombs, they found the Dybbuk Box encased in a protective shrine. The box seemed to pulse with a malevolent energy, casting eerie shadows on the walls. As Dr. Marlowe reached for the box, a ghostly figure appeared, a monk who had died protecting the relic. He warned them of the box's curse and the dire consequences of disturbing it. Despite the warning, Dr. Marlowe was resolute. She explained her brother's disappearance and her belief that the box held answers. The ghostly monk, moved by her determination, revealed a way to safely transport the box without unleashing its power. He inscribed protective runes on the box, temporarily suppressing the Dybbuk's influence. Returning to their base, the team began studying the box, hoping to unlock its secrets. Ava, using her psychic abilities, connected with the box's history, glimpsing its dark past. She saw the sorcerer who had become the Dybbuk, his soul trapped between worlds due to a forbidden ritual gone wrong. As they delved deeper, they discovered an ancient text hidden within the box, detailing the ritual that could permanently banish the Dybbuk. The ritual required rare ingredients and a location of immense spiritual significance, a forgotten temple in the heart of the Carpathian Mountains. Determined to end the Dybbuk's reign of terror, Dr. Marlowe and her team embarked on their most dangerous journey yet. They faced treacherous terrain, hostile weather, and supernatural forces determined to stop them. Along the way, they encountered a secretive order of guardians, descendants of those who had first trapped the Dybbuk, who agreed to help them complete the ritual. At the temple, they prepared for the final confrontation. As they began the ritual, the Dybbuk sensed their intentions and lashed out with all its fury. Shadows twisted into monstrous forms, and the air filled with spine-chilling screams. The team held their ground, reciting the incantations with unwavering focus. In a climactic battle of wills, the Dybbuk's dark essence surged from the box, attempting to escape. Dr. Marlowe, drawing on her strength and love for her brother, led the final chant, channeling the combined power of the team and the guardians. With a blinding flash of light, the Dybbuk was torn from the physical realm, banished to the void from which it could never return. The box, now devoid of its sinister presence, crumbled to dust, its curse lifted forever. Dr. Marlowe and her team emerged victorious, their bond strengthened by the ordeal. They had not only defeated a powerful evil but had also uncovered the truth about her brother. He had been one of the original guardians, sacrificing himself to protect the world from the Dybbuk. With the Dybbuk's threat eliminated, the Shadow Seekers continued their mission, now more determined than ever to protect the world from the hidden darkness that lurked within ancient artifacts. The legacy of the Dybbuk Box lived on as a testament to their bravery and the enduring power of hope in the face of unimaginable terror. Years after the heroic efforts of Dr. Elena Marlowe and her team, the legend of the Dybbuk Box faded into obscurity. However, darkness has a way of finding its way back. The remnants of the box, believed to have been destroyed, were unknowingly recovered by a group of amateur archaeologists. Drawn by the allure of the supernatural, they reassembled the fragments, inadvertently reigniting the Dybbuk's malevolent power. The spirit, now more cunning and vengeful, bided its time, waiting for the right moment to strike. Its opportunity came when one of the archaeologists, a young woman named Lydia, began experiencing terrifying nightmares and inexplicable events. Shadows danced on her walls, and whispers filled her home at night. Unbeknownst to her, the Dybbuk had chosen her as its new vessel. Lydia, desperate to rid herself of the haunting, sought out the Shadow Seekers. Dr. Marlowe, now retired but still respected in the paranormal community, received her plea for help. Though reluctant to revisit the horrors of the past, she felt a responsibility to protect Lydia and stop the Dybbuk once and for all. Dr. Marlowe gathered her old team: Jake, the tech expert, Ava, the psychic medium, and Marcus, the seasoned investigator. Together, they formulated a plan to confront the Dybbuk and destroy it permanently. This time, they knew they needed more than just ritualistic chants and protective runes. They needed to understand the Dybbuk's true origins and motivations. Their research led them to an ancient manuscript hidden in the Vatican's secret archives. The manuscript revealed the sorcerer's true identity: a powerful and ruthless occultist named Mordecai, who had once sought to dominate both the physical and spiritual realms. His failed ritual had trapped him as a Dybbuk, but his ambition had not waned. To defeat Mordecai, they needed to find his original grimoire, a book containing the dark magic he had used. The grimoire was believed to be hidden in a lost city beneath the sands of the Sahara Desert. The Shadow Seekers embarked on an expedition to find it, navigating treacherous terrain and ancient traps. Deep beneath the desert, they discovered the hidden city, a place of forgotten grandeur and ominous shadows. In the heart of the city, within a grand library, they found Mordecai's grimoire. As Ava reached for the book, the ground shook, and ghostly apparitions rose from the floor, attempting to protect the dark secrets within. With Lydia's help, now acting as a conduit for the Dybbuk's suppressed power, they managed to fend off the spirits and retrieve the grimoire. Returning to their base, they prepared for the final showdown. They needed to perform a powerful counter-ritual using the grimoire's knowledge, but it required immense spiritual energy, far more than they possessed. Dr. Marlowe, understanding the gravity of their task, made a difficult decision. She reached out to the seer, the enigmatic figure from Alex's time. The seer, now even more mysterious and powerful, agreed to aid them but demanded a great sacrifice. One of their own would have to offer their soul to bind Mordecai's spirit permanently. As they debated who would make the sacrifice, Lydia stepped forward. She felt responsible for reawakening the Dybbuk and wanted to atone for her mistake. Despite the team's protests, she insisted on being the one to make the ultimate sacrifice. The final ritual took place in an ancient, abandoned temple, chosen for its strong spiritual resonance. The team formed a protective circle around Lydia, chanting the incantations from the grimoire. As they chanted, the air grew cold, and a vortex of dark energy swirled around them. Mordecai's spirit, sensing its impending doom, manifested in a terrifying form, lashing out with all its fury. The team held their ground, focusing their energies on Lydia, who stood resolute at the center of the storm. With a final, powerful incantation, Lydia bound Mordecai's spirit to her own, sacrificing herself to seal the Dybbuk forever. The temple shook violently, and a blinding light filled the space. When the light faded, Lydia was gone, but the Dybbuk's presence had vanished with her. The team, though heartbroken by their loss, knew that Lydia's sacrifice had saved countless lives and ended a centuries-old curse. Returning home, they vowed to honor Lydia's memory by continuing their work. They documented their journey, ensuring that the story of the Dybbuk Box, Lydia's bravery, and the Shadow Seeker's relentless pursuit of the truth would never be forgotten.